Starting with Syria's profile, Syrian activists and the state media say rebels have agreed to surrender daraa to government forces. Activists said fighters have the option of accepting an offer of amnesty from the government or leaving daraa with their families to other rebel-held parts of the country. Moreover, daraa governor said government forces are in control of 80% of the city. In addition, Syrian state media reported late Tuesday that rebels in daraa had agreed to surrender their heavy and medium weapons. On to Russian-Iranian relations, the top advisor to Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said his meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Thursday had been very constructive and friendly, and that Moscow would invest in the Iranian oil sector. Ali Akbar Velayati said to Iranian state television from Moscow, "Our leader Khamenei values improving ties with Russia as a strategic partner. This path will continue." Moreover, the Kremlin said Putin and Velayati discussed the situation in Syria and bilateral relations, and Velayati had given Putin messages from Khamenei and from Iran's President Hassan Rouhani. On the other side of the world, President Donald Trump has arrived in Great Britain for his first visit as president amid NATO tensions. Air Force One has landed at London Stansted Airport, where President Trump is beginning a 4-day visit to the country. From another aspect, on Friday, President Trump will meet with Prime Minister Theresa May and Queen Elizabeth II. Meanwhile, President Trump is arriving following a chaotic NATO summit. On to the NATO summit, President Donald Trump closed out his 2-day visit to NATO on Thursday by declaring victory, claiming that member nations caved to his demands to significantly increase defense spending and reaffirming his commitment to the alliance. But French President Emmanuel Macron quickly disputed Trump's claim that NATO allies have agreed to boost defense spending beyond 2% of gross domestic product. The United States' commitment to NATO remains very strong. That's what President Trump told reporters at a surprise news conference following an emergency session of NATO members held to address his threats. In relation to the context, the NATO summit concluded on Thursday with all 29 NATO member states agreeing that there still is a common commitment to the military alliance. German Chancellor Angela Merkel told reporters in Brussels that there was a clear commitment to NATO by all at an emergency session of the military alliance. She also said that American President Donald Trump raised the topic of better burden sharing and more spending by Germany, as has been discussed for months, and that we made clear that we are on the way. And finally, economic news. Global stock markets recovered some of the previous day's losses on Thursday as investors weighed up the latest developments on a possible global trade war. In Europe, London's FTSE 100 rose 0.9% to 7,661, while Germany's DAX added 0.6% to 12,485. France CAC 40 gained 0.8% to 5,389. On Wall Street, futures for the Dow Jones Industrial Average and Standard & Poor's 500 Index were up 0.4%. In Asia, the Shanghai Composite Index rose 2.2% to 2,837.66, and Tokyo's Nikkei 225 gained 1.2% to 22,187.96.